Well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Second down and 3.
Let's go now.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
They'll look to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
And this is where we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
Let's go. Bronco 80. Steady, right?
Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Taylor. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jonathan Taylor, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good.
Buccaneers, nothing. Kaimi Fairbairn set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
Ready! Ready!
They'll start on the ground with Irving. Down the right sideline. And finally taken down at the 34. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 42 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Stick to the Eagles! Stick to the Eagles!
A quick throw complete to Washington. And they can't bring him down. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Buccaneers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
2nd and 4. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got it.
They've got his man complete, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Emeka Buka, 38 yards. And the Bucs have taken the lead.
Eagles 7.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
26-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind, going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. It's now 21-7.
Eagles 7.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. That is incomplete.
You look at this defense for Tampa Bay.
And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Cowboy 80. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
They'll try and throw for it here. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Stop.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. This is caught. It's Brown. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards.
First and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. Irving will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready.
And they'll run again.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Bucky Irving, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A short one there, caught by Warren. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
Ready, ready.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
18, go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Let's go now. Let's go.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
11.
Now back to throw. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Pass caught right side by Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for a Buccaneer first, to pick up of 12 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3.
Come on. Set. 60.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Here we go. Start. Hawk. Let's go.
Now he's into the clear again.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay. How about that? Their quarterback. 38 yards.
And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Eagles are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Eagles 21.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback.
Touchdown! A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Eagles have cut it back within a score.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
A 49-yard attempt.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Fairbairn set to kick off.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Back to throw now on first down.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
He's taken down.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down.
A gain of 6 on the play. It's now fourth down and 1.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's to the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Darnell Washington, 27 yards. And the Bucs take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal.
45. Eagles 28.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. He's got Smith here. So no gain on the play. And it'll be second down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Looking to put a drive together.
At their own 33-yard line.
Come on.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Not liking the look, they'll change the play.
Warriors 70, 18, Pioneer. Ready.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now.
And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
19 tight, go!
They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
18, drop 60, drop 60.
He'll look to throw.
Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And down inside the 15 he goes.
60 Eagles.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Warriors, let's go now.
Back to throw again.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
18, come nice, 7 Pirates.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Chase McLaughlin on for the field goal.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had it.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Eagles are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good.
And that cuts this lead down to 13. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. So first and 10 now from the 30. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Open man is Ibuka. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
It's a pickup of 6.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Ibuka with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Buccaneers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. McLaughlin for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Makes the score Buccaneers 55, Eagles 35.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.